Radio Hereford FC, the only station with full match commentaries of the Bulls. Every game, every week.
Hello again, and welcome to We're Going Down the Pub with me, Frank Williams, and that perennial ground guide guru, Mr. Simon Wright. How are you, Simon?
Oh, bouncing around excitedly, Frank. And greetings, you lucky people.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I've been using all these different introductions for you instead of ground guide, and I've reverted to that tonight because I cannot really find anything more. We've gone through the Vlad the Impaler and all that, but I thought what I would do tonight is I'd get on the internet and I'd Google ground guide guru and see what I came up with.
You've got too much time on your hands.
I have, and what I came out was I got a PowerPoint presentation from the Army Guru's ground guide. Yes, basically flashing lantern signals at how you guide missiles into ground targets, which was
there's a sort of rough parallel there, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right.
Targeting,
And there's also a guide guru doing private day tours of St. Petersburg, which I thought was quite an interesting thing for a guide on the ground who's a guru at St. Petersburg.
Yeah, it's pretty obscure.
But nothing really that interesting. Now, we're doing tonight a two-parter.
Oh, yes.
Part one. And the reason we're doing it a two-parter is actually we got 2 away games in January. We're doing them early, we're doing them before Christmas, because our ground guide guru is going away for a fortnight on a winter break. Where are you going, Simon?
I'm going to spend a couple of weeks in the Canary Islands in Lanzarote.
Very nice.
Her indoors is very, very keen that we should go away during the football season, so I've given way.
And you are actually going 2 days before the Paulton Rovers match.
Paulton, yes.
And you're arriving back around about the time of the Yates match.
Yes, although...
So you probably won't make either of them.
Paulton's wiped. The Mangotsfield replay is wiped as well.
The Mangotsfield postponement, that's going to be in there. We will reissue the ground guide for that, but it will be unchanged from the previous version.
Indeed, and Yates is a clash with another local match, shall we say, so we'll see where we go with that.
Yeah, so we're going to do a two-parter. Part one of our January ground guides is Paulton Rovers, 7th of January. Guest compiler of our information, that famous chairman of Hust, Mr. Richard Tompkins, who did the Mangotsfield one for us.
Fine job he did. Thank you for that, Richard.
He did indeed.
Yes, and we noticed that he's a member of the Mangotsfield FC Supporters Club, which comes as a bit of a shock. Who knew?
Is he the only member of that? He could be.
And he's known by his first name at the bar at Mangotsfield, so he's spending far too much time.
The Mangotsfield ground guide, we will simply reissue. It will be unchanged from our weather. We'll reissue it, we'll put it back up again, remind you about it. The only change that could possibly be made is the bar will now have less fittings because the night after the postponed game they had a break-in, didn't they?
Yes.
And a few things were nicked, so it might be silent. But anyway, we look forward to going there again. Okay. Now, Paulton, another bit of a village, isn't it?
Yeah, it's, this whole league seems to be full of attractive village clubs, and this is very much an attractive village club. It's about the size of Bromyard.
I've noticed now you're going down the avenue of all these stuff, you're comparing them to Herefordshire towns.
All the time.
We've had Ledbury and Leominster, remember?
Yeah.
Remember a long street with lots of interesting features, I think you described one. So this one is Bromyard-esque.
Bromyard-esque.
I hope the ground's better than theirs.
Well, it can't be a lot worse, can it? But
and it's very near, by the way. Paulton is very near to Midsummer Norton, so it could be murder that day, couldn't it? Really?
It's a good job I didn't write that bit. But
and the other thing I've noticed about you, there are no nearby rugby clubs.
Really? You sure?
I'm positive this, mate.
How hard did you check? You sure you didn't overlook it?
No, I googled
no
it.
egg chasers.
We've got to look, you see, because it does help with parking.
Yes.
Yeah, because if they've got a car park, you can use a pitch. They won't know any different, because it'll all be rutted and ploughed up anyway, so they wouldn't notice. But there aren't any.
Oh.
Paulton seems to be a football town, although they have been removed to the outskirts of the town.
Okay.
But you see, you call it a village. No, I would say, well, it is. It is actually Paulton. It is Paulton town, Paulton Rovers.
Yes. Well, okay. That's
Bromyard.
the village town debate's been rumbling on for a while. But anyway, in case you're wondering where it is, it's a village stroke town southeast of Bristol. And there's been a settlement in the area right back to Roman times. It hasn't really made that much of an impact on history, say for one sad incident in World War II, when the invasion force to Arnhem was going overhead. Something happened, possibly the tow rope broke, and one glider full of engineers crashed in a field close to Paulton. All 23 people who were on there, all the engineers were killed, sadly. There's a memorial marks the spot and some kind of ceremony every year.
And I've got an interesting fact about Arnhem. My dad was he was a lorry driver in the war. He should never have been called up because he was a farmer in Herefordshire, but he had HGV. So they called him up, gave him 2 stripes and sent him up to Carlisle as a driving instructor. Right? When it came to D-Day and so on, of course, he had the fleet of lorries he had to take across. Now he was part of the lorry convoys that brought all the body bags back from Arnhem. The bridge too far. As the film was, the bridge too far.
Yes.
It was a bridge too far. So it was a tough shout for my dad. Something he never, he didn't really talk about, obviously, but there you are. So, but in fact, we had casualties of Arnhem on British soil
before they even got off British soil. Yeah, so that was a desperately sad one. But on a football note, anyway. Okay, football club can trace history going back to 1890, but they played in a Western League right up to 2004, so they've been a small club for a very, very long time. Played in the Southern League Prem since, played in Step 3 for 3 years, and have ambitions of going back, but I'm not quite sure how they're going to achieve that, but there you go. Interesting feature about Paulton, education is king. 4 of the squad, including one Sol Wheatley, studies at Hartbury College, so you can imagine them.
Wasn't Nathan Summers?
He was.
Yes. How bad their website is. Is he still there? Because his picture and his profile is.
He's been gone a couple of months. He went to Frome.
Right.
Just before Paulton came to play us, I think, at Equestrian. I was miffed because I've written a great piece about him and had to scratch it out, But there you go. So for their team at the college studying. And also,
so they'll be well known to some of our lads.
They'll be known to Jimmy Oates and Simo, of course.
Yeah,
he's around lecturing.
Yeah. And Joel, not Joel. No, they're the only ones left, aren't they? Oh,
yeah. And there'll be Sid, of course.
Yeah.
Westfields.
Yeah.
They'd be not. It's like a football factory. And a curious one, actually. The manager, Tony Ricketts, he works for Sporting Chance Project. Now they're all about offering alternative education and care to vulnerable young people who are aged 16 to 19.
Well, that's out then.
Yeah, probably a good thing, really. Mainly based at Bristol, but they've got a development centre at Paulton at the ground.
Oh, right, okay. Any interesting players, apart from Sol, we know a little bit about?
Well, we do, yeah. I mean, Sol has played in most games.
Yep.
Sadly, for an attacking player, he's still got more bookings than goals.
And how many goals he got?
1.
How many bookings he got?
2. Very low-key impact.
Not much of a season so far.
No.
He actually didn't play.
He came on the sub.
He came on the sub, didn't he?
Yes, okay. There's the usual keep it in the family. The manager's son plays in midfield. And I did the Jamie check. No Jamies. No hope of promotion.
Not a chance, have they really?
A couple of interesting players will appeal to me anyway. The goalkeeper is called Ed Baldy, but he's got hair, which is a bit of a strange paradox, and it had me tittering anyway. There you go. One of their midfielders, Ibrahimo Diallo, or Ibs for short.
Right.
He played in the Paralympic World Cup for Great Britain.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah,
won a silver medal too.
Yeah.
He's got cerebral palsy.
Right. Yeah.
I assume it's a fairly mild version, but
well, yes, because there was one. The lad, the skipper, played at quite a high level, didn't he?
Yeah. That's different.
Absolutely. Now, what about the ground?
The
mate?
ground, yeah. I mean, because they've played at Step 3 for a few years, I think that probably helps. It's quite well appointed. Genuine 2,000 capacity. They've already proved it. They had a match against Norwich in the FA Cup 7 years ago. Got 2,070 folk in there. It's concreted all round. Narrow terraces, Richard tells me, very narrow terraces in places. So, be careful how much you sup, because you might fall over. 2 small stands, covered stands, 250 seats in total, and there's terrace cover on 2 sides, so that should be ample. The supporters will have it easy. Smooth modern concrete access into the ground, but you need to be aware that the stepped access inside.
Right.
There may be a back way in, but Richard wasn't able to confirm.
Well, he's not
that.
used to taking the back door into anything, Richard, is he really?
Very well said.
The ground's name, by the way, it's in Winterfield Road,
Yes.
and it's surprisingly called Winterfield Road.
Yeah. Bizarre.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Now, they're a bit pricey for this level. Well, not pricey,
well,
£9.
Yeah, I mean, they're similar prices to us. On the adults, £9, concessions £7, under 18s £2, and if you've got an under 12 with you and you're an adult, it's free.
Right.
Okay. Do you have a car park? 150 places. That's quite
Not bad.
generous.
Yes,
No. Otherwise, we're not aware of any special provisions. So you
Well, they've got no rugby club.
no.
Don't
What
hold
do you
it,
do?
yeah.
What do you do? Well, they'd only be playing at home anyway if they weren't there. Otherwise, we'd have to fill up the village streets. Can't park by the ground, very narrow, double yellow lines, so you just have to park in the village.
Since
wherever you
when has that affected Hereford drivers? Double yellow lines?
Oh dear. Well, yes.
Okay, let's get on to the important bit, yeah,
stuff,
the
the
important stuff
refreshments.
now.
Yeah. Okay, clubhouse. Now this is a very impressive clubhouse. It's a bit like Mango's, but I'd imagine even bigger. It's open 7 days of the week.
Oh, it's a village social club as well.
It is, yeah. And they've got 1,000 members, which is a bit odd because that's 10
times their home games.
Their home games, yeah.
Okay,
And I have been told that they turn over £20,000 a week.
but that's well, I trust that. That's a good turnover for a big pub,
It
isn't
is,
it?
so-
But then, of course, 1,000 members.
Yeah.
If they're running, I don't know, darts teams, dominoes teams, that sort of thing, you never know.
Got all of those, yeah. I mean, they've got 2 large function rooms and very comfortable seating. Sky and BT, if you like a live football, they've got both. And they promised real ale. Sadly, it's Doom Bar.
Here you go again.
There we go again. Yeah,
You've
yeah.
got your thing
The
about
Doom Bar.
Doom Bar.
Yeah. It's Doom Bar plus 1 local beer, but we don't know what that beer is. Okay. If you want nosh there, they serve generally from 2 o'clock, although I'd hope they'd be earlier for us.
Yeah.
And Richard really wants us to focus on the imaginative titled Winterfield Whopper.
Is that a burger?
We imagine so. We wouldn't like to speculate what else it might be.
Is the Whopper?
Yes, it's a double burger.
It's a double
basically,
burger.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although we could have some fun speculating and annoy
The Winterfield Whopper. It could be the woman who works behind the bar, or the turnstile operator, or if we got lady turnstile
It
operators.
could be that as well, but we mustn't upset our censor. Because he'll be snipping and cutting again, won't he? But, not good.
He's still getting over your last. I noticed that your last comment about us humping our gear got past him. It went out, yes. And one of
He's
our.
getting more laid back in his old age.
I don't think he bothers to listen anymore.
Oh dear, don't say that.
Okay, alternatives to the ground.
Alternative, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a very good place, but if you want to go elsewhere, the village has several pubs. In Park Road, which is an easy walk, is The Lamb. That's owned by Punch. You will expect to see Courage Best there.
And you'll need it.
Yes, and more Doomba.
Right.
That's open from 11.
Oh, that's not bad. 11 a.m., not normal 12 o'clock.
Indeed. Nearby is the Red Lion. That's also owned by Punch, and this one has a car park, which might fill up rather alarmingly. Butcombe Bitter.
That's okay.
Is it?
Butcombe's okay, yeah.
Butcombe Bitter.
Courage
Again.
That's not.
Draft Bass.
Can be good.
Plus a revolving guest.
Right.
Somebody gets chucked out a lot. That's
No Royal Oak.
No, Royal Oak.
Oh,
No,
how
sorry to
disappointing.
disappoint you.
Well, no, it's a
Yeah.
bit far south than it for Charlie
Yeah.
to get up a tree.
I suppose it
yes,
is,
it's
yeah,
in
yeah.
the Midlands clubs will have loads of Royal Oaks.
If you want Nosh, Red Lion's a place to go. Or if you want some interesting and quality Nosh.
Here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Not Turkish, I hope.
No, I don't think so. This
right.
sounds good. It's a shame I'm not going.
Yeah.
In Salisbury Road, which is basically the road out of the village, it's the La Campagna Brasserie, which bills itself as a combination of traditional pub and Italian brasserie. Number one eating spot, according to TripAdvisor, in the village. Very popular. Normally, you can't get in, but I suppose in January it'd probably be okay. Opens from noon. They do mention in small print real ales available, but they won't
That's not
say what
bad.
it is. It would be a fantastic place to go at the end of the season because they've got a lovely outdoor area. But in January, you're going to be pretty hardy, aren't you?
Well, we can always hope for another postponement.
Love it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, in mileage terms, it's not too bad. It's 82. But bear in mind, it's Bristol.
Yeah, no, I had a little look today to see what the best route was going to be. I mean, you've got to keep it. You know, if you went to Mangotsfield, you know what we mean about roadworks. Right? But I've found the best way of getting there is actually go to Mangotsfield. You take that route. You get off the M5, get on the M4, then on the M32, and then over, and you go to Mangotsfield, and then basically it's dead south of that, and you're in the country from then. So if you imagine it's Mangotsfield plus another 10, but the other 10 is not bad.
Okay,
that's your best way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're almost going to Western-super-Mare.
Oh.
Right on the M5 and then cutting across.
And that we'll never do. That's for next season, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no, it may not be.
Sorry, it's a bit like
we might swap
arrogance.
places with Western-super-Mare.
Well, no, they're in step 2, coming down to step 3 at the moment.
Well,
but,
that would be good.
So yes, there's almost something like a Villa Arrogance coming out there, but there you go. Of course, Saturday in January, obviously no commuter traffic, everybody hard up. It might be not too bad a run, but obviously be aware, check the Highways England website. And that's the only downside really of what is a decent trip. You know, it's not too far, decent ground, loads of easy refreshment options. It's just that the travel might be a bit of a pain. Forget going by train.
Oh, right.
Hopeless, completely hopeless.
No, that totally out of the question?
Yeah, it's 3 hours each way to Bath Spa, and that's mainly using rail replacement. And then you've got another hour each way by bus.
So it looks like it's Reg. Now, obviously we're recording this really early. We're not even mid-December yet. And obviously there's no details. I'm going to presume that with Reg it's going to be a 20 quidder. I would have thought it might be the 15. I don't know. It's 15 to Mangotsfield.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit further. Keep your eye on the Facebook page. Looking at the route that they will probably take, it's going to be his normal pickups because that way he's going to go Hereford, Ross, Monmouth, Chepstow, which are his normal pickup points. I would have thought, and then over the Severn Bridge. So that won't be too bad.
That's a winner.
I'm not saying it's going to be 20 quid. What I'm saying is, looking at the distance involved, I would think it's on a boundary between 50. Get all the details off Reg. He'll be posting them soon. I notice now that he's sort of doing one match at a time, but he's not going to look at these, I wouldn't imagine, till probably the week before Christmas. And I don't blame him for that. He's a busy bee.
Yay. So there you go.
That's
that
great.
is Paulton.
So that is the end of part 1 of our January guide. Because there's only 2 away matches. Well, there's 3 away matches in January, but one of them is a repeat.
That's right.
The Mangotsfield match has been put in. But this is the 7th of January to Paulton. And I would say we hope to see you there, but you won't see anybody there because you won't be there. But
no, we'll be having some winter sun, but I suppose I can put up with it.
Well, you will. Thanks very much for listening, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls. Match Day Live.